This video is brought to you by CoolstuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and this is going to be an apology video because I really am very sorry. I'm gonna snap out of a depressed CGB character. I've been making way too many misplays. Way too many. Perhaps you've been under a rock. Perhaps you haven't watched a couple videos. Let's go back. Number one, do you see lethal? I don't see lethal. I'm being a dum-dum. Chat sees lethal. Chat always sees lethal. So opponent at 9, attack with this. Put opponent at 4, play Croxa. Opponent loses 3 life. Put cat through oven, drain for 1. Easy peasy. What does CGBZ do? CGBZ lets the red mage have another turn. Does it cost me the game? I don't think it does. Yeah. Still got gold tier 1, despite that terrible misplay, but still. Missed lethal! And it's not like it was insanely hard. Oh, that is painful. Alright. Evidence against the defendant number 2 to be presented here in the public YouTube court of law. Beating my trolls video down to the last couple cards in library, going over in my head again and again and again and again. It's like, how do I get something back at instant speed? And then I check my Troll King and I'm like, can I bring this Troll King back at instant speed? And it's not lit up, and it's my turn. It says I can play the ability on my turn. It's my turn, but it's not lit up. So I'm like, nope, it's a sorcery. Well, that's because I hit this like a freaking habitual idiot. When you punch the resolve all button, it doesn't give you the opportunities to respond to your own stuff like that. And if I had been able to set it up in such a way that I brought the Troll King back at instant speed with an empty deck, I could have responded to the Brazen Borrower with a Troll King and won that game. To make it worse, I even said to somebody in comments that it didn't work that way, and I was wrong about that too. I was wrecked by Resolve All, a button you don't have to push. It's supposed to be a make your life better button, but I think I'm in the habit of just hitting it all the frickin' time. So, stupid. Not great. This one isn't even on YouTube yet. This one isn't even on YouTube yet, and I'm already, like, I didn't even sleep last night dreading the crucifixion of the comments. This turn is probably gonna haunt me for like my entire life, and you should have already seen it because this video will come out after that one. But in a nutshell, I need to kill this aerialist. This is the only turn I have to do it, and the only way that I have to do it is if the opponent blocks my feasting Troll King. Then what I have to do is I have to play Cavalier of Thorns. I have to sacrifice the Wicked Wolf to one of the Witch's Ovens to put in the graveyard. I have to play the other Witch's Oven to sacrifice the Cavalier of Thorns. Then I have to put the Wicked Wolf on top of my deck, and I have to sacrifice one of the foods to the Gilded Goose to get it with Trail of Crumbs and recast it to kill the Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Now, if I do all this, my opponent still has a 1/1 Aerialist, but I have a chance to possibly draw a Wicked Wolf on a future turn and take that out before it gets out of hand. So here's the Cavalier of Thorns, and what I was obsessed with is I was 1 mana short. Then I remembered I can make the extra mana with Garenbrig and just use it for the wolf when I finally get it. I start thinking ahead, and then I do the unspeakable. I put the Cavalier in the oven when the wolf isn't even in my graveyard, and you see I even look in my graveyard like, where's the wolf? I have the whole play mapped in my head, and I forgot to do it. Look, the punchable face of a man who has lost his way. Ugh. I hate it. I can't sleep at night when I do this stuff. I really can't. I really stay up at night. One of the biggest pieces of advice I give to other YouTubers is don't read your comments before bed. My worst habit is I'll wake up in the middle of the night and read some comments. And speaking of comments, you guys know I can't pull one over on you. I can't. And then I get something like this. I don't know if you guys can see this that great. Let me try to raise the size. Yeah. Whoa. That just blew up on me. I understand the explanation that you no longer want to be the quote best player and that you just want to create good content. But remember that good content in Magic also means not screwing up your games. Not always screwing up your games. Savage. It is unbelievably annoying and hard to watch players who are on the slow side. Okay, I am not going to apologize for taking my time ever. And nobody should have to, especially to viewers. I get it. If you're annoyed, you're annoyed. But don't watch people if you think they're too slow. Just watch something else. Like, don't give people a hard time if they want to think. Really don't. I may make a comment about being roped a time or two in a video. That really is just me being entertaining. But I know very well I take my time, and I'm never going to back down from that. Anyway. That's why I don't watch a lot of streamers, and that includes Day 9. I'm not a hater, and I do know not everyone is like me, but you can't really deny how annoying it is when you're watching someone messing it up on something, and you just want to take over and do it yourself. And this applies not just in games. That is 100% true. A lot of control freaks out there. A lot of people who just want to take over and do it themselves. Trust me, I know. That doesn't mean you have to be the best player. I started watching you years ago because I was impressed by how you play. You have the skills. I don't. And I also understand doing this on a regular basis as some form of a job can wear you down and even bore you. I'm not bored. I can dig that. I'm just saying that you shouldn't make making good content an excuse for not playing good Magic. Maybe I implied that. I definitely have no interest in making that excuse, but I'm also not going to beat myself up anymore when I make mistakes. That's what I said, but then here I am beating myself up in front of all of you. They're not mutually exclusive, and they can actually be the same thing, because if I wanted to watch fails, I would watch a fails channel, because those are intentionally funny. Right. So, I think something that is completely lost in this is that it would be like, some people actually, I think, get upset that I would even put up videos where I make mistakes and where things go wrong. And I think something that is truly sincerely lost in all of this is the fact that it would be just so easy to delete those videos. In fact, I went through a stretch in my early content creation days where it was so important to me that people think I'm good, that if I made a mistake, I would never put up that video, ever. But I have found that emotional moments in videos are more powerful than somebody who just makes the same play again and again and again, and it just gets everything right, and there's never a single mistake. I don't know what you come to my channel for, you viewer out there right now. I don't know what you're here for, but I know that you're not all here for the same thing. I know that some of you are here to learn, and I am happy to help some of you pick up on some of the little good details in Magic, because I think that's part of where my talent lies, is I have a lot of experience, and you can learn some things watching my videos. But if you want to get really good and you only want to watch best play, you shouldn't watch my channel. Straight up. I basically give up a ton of equity in my games by playing different decks every day, playing cards I don't usually play with, taking the time to master almost nothing, because what my channel really is about is the variety and the just all the, like, my kind of endless search for more good decks. I always believe they're out there, even in solved metas, even in tough metas, even in Oko metas, and I don't stop playing different decks. I show something different every day so that when you are thinking about playing the Magic Arena, you don't feel stuck playing the same things every day, and hopefully there's something for everybody eventually. I also like to think that I play good while I do it, and I haven't done enough of that lately. So, while I'm going to defend myself a little bit, 1, this is not a channel to learn how to play the highest competitive levels of Magic. 2, I'm going to make mistakes. It is easy to delete your videos where you make mistakes. it is hard to put them up. And I don't think you guys really know how hard it is for me to post a video where I take a tough loss because I make a mistake. But I do it because I think it will be more memorable and will make more of a moment, both for myself to get better and for you to remember what I did wrong and to try to do better. And it also shows that I'm human, as opposed to people who can, it's not hard to only put up videos where you play well and win. It really isn't. But it is hard to put up a bad misplay when it costs you a game. It is hard to put up a missed lethal and then talk about it after the fact. Like, if you have any kind of an ego and a competitive spirit, and I have both, it is hard to go through that. So, I'm not saying give me a break. I know you won't. I know you never will. I know you're always going to call me on it. But I'm not putting this up and making this content this way because I'm lazy. I'm doing it for obviously people that aren't quite this commenter, but there are a lot of people who it will resonate more with, the emotional experience of having somebody kind of struggle in ways that they have struggled. That means something to other people. But to this viewer and to those viewers like them who actually come here not expecting all the misplays and the quote not good, you know, the making good content versus the being good at Magic, just basically the points brought up here, to those players, I am going to apologize because I have not been playing amazing Magic lately. I've made a lot more misplays than I want to make. You deserve better. So without further ado, I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive. And I am sorry for the misplays of the past week. Please forgive me. I'm gonna go try to play some cool Magic now. Perfectly. As a CGB can. As I have before. And as I will again. Let's dive in and let the nonsense begin. Today we're going to play Niv Fires. We've got a lot of the typical Niv Mizzet Reborn stuff, a ton of multicolor cards, Fires of Invention, Growth Spiral to play it early, Uro to hit your land drops and play it early. You know, just get your lands, play Fires, play Niv, play Casualties of War till they die. Probably the only thing you wouldn't expect here, the flex cards, are Carnival Carnage, which I found really handy for either hitting the opponent's hand or killing off tiny red creatures before they kill me. A few Knights of Autumn also round out the flex spots, along with Deafening Clarion to keep the board clear. The mana base is a hodgepodge of all kinds of lands of various shapes and sizes doing various mana things. Not absolutely every type of dual land was squeezed in here. I tried to look at the mana symbols and figure out which mana symbols most need to go together. For example, white needs to go with red and with blue and with green. But it doesn't need to go with black, so a white-black land can make some sense, so that it can be your white land or your black land if you absolutely need it for Niv Mizzet Reborn and Casualties. So some care was kind of put into the mana base, although I won't claim it's perfect. If anybody wants to Frank Karsten math this mana base and knows what I'm talking about there, go for it. But otherwise, let's dive in and let this Niv Mizzet Reborn nonsense begin. Wow, this hand, well, is it as bad as it looks? We have two cheapo removal spells if the opponent comes out aggressive. We have a Growth Spiral that we can cast. YOLO. We've got a ton of land in this deck. We'll draw more, right? Right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I'm nervous now. On the play, I think I'm going to stall and land at some point. So hopefully we draw a white source and we draw something like Teferi to get deeper in the deck. Make Deafening Clarion a good top deck if we need it. Something like that. I said I was going to play perfectly. That keep is probably a misplay. No! Foiled on turn one. All right. Nope, not today. Today is Eye of the Tiger. Today is renewed, renewed, rejuvenated CGB. Going in hard. Boom. Hello. You have no idea who you're messing with. For I will never misplay again. Never. What you got? Yeah, something I can kill. There's the Clarion. I'm not terrified of this card yet, so I think it makes a lot of sense to do a Growth Spiral instead. I'll do it in response to the attack, though, in case I hit like an untapped black. I have the option to Carnage this. We really need land. Need a lot of land in a row. Like right here, like 3 lands in a row would be nice. Oh no. Okay, now it's really kind of scary to let this thing hit. But if we hit a white source, we get to clean up both. And letting this get to a 3/3 isn't that big of a deal. Let's go for it. All right, passage. Let's go get white. They want to say good game. Okay, they already don't like that I'm thinking. Sorry, I need to think. I'm not a smart CGB like I was in my youth. I need to turn my brain on. I need to power up the batteries. I need to get the... Well, I don't even do Mountain Dew anymore. I need to inject something. That's what I need. I need Mountain Dew back. I wonder how much that actually has to do with it. I have not felt... Like, people tell me all the health benefits of quitting caffeine like I did on stream over a year ago now. I quit caffeine on stream, and it was part of my stream. We kept count of how many days I went without it. I just haven't felt the same. I don't feel the same sharpness. You know? I don't feel the same dialed in very often. I'm just kind of... my brain is like moping around. They kept telling me there'd be all these health benefits to quitting caffeine and quitting Mountain Dew. And to be honest, I'm not feeling that. That's a whole other story. Carnage. Let's knock out your hand. Let's knock out your hand. That was a good draw on that Fires of Invention. And we found 2 lands that we desperately needed. This game is going okay. I think part of not misplaying is going to mean actually having to pay attention to the game. Call me crazy. Whoa. Full-on life gain. Ill-gotten inheritance and Omen of the Dead to the bin. Well, there's Heliod. That card is a real pain in the butt. But it doesn't gain life on its own. There's some life. Wow, that worked out great for you. That's going to be a big boy. We need the land or a way to deal with this off the top right now. There are a lot of live draws in the deck. I think we can be okay here. Land is just fine. I can't think of a reason I would need it untapped. Have you met Niv? Clarion, I think Uro over Spiral, for sure. Collect those. For my next trick, we can Teferi bounce this. I think that's pretty solid. I would love to Teferi bounce it and Carnage it away, though. So, let's play an Uro for this turn. Wow. All 4 Carnival Carnage. How exciting. Idyllic Tutor. Yeah, if you put something in your hand and I get to knock it out with Carnage, I'm going to feel really good about it. Really good. All right. Revenge the Ravens. Our opponent came with a plan. Our opponent definitely came with a plan. Unfortunately, I think they're going to take a beating for it. So, let's do this. Take away their goodies. I know, rude. Now, once again, I could like Teferi this. I think I'll just bring out the Uro. Yeah, you still have to pay the escape mana cost for Uro, but it does count as one of your spells because you are casting it from the graveyard. Looking at this mana, I can't think of something that I actually need. I'm just gonna grab green. Somebody's gonna tell me why that's a misplay. Somebody out there is gonna say that's a misplay. Allow me to tank for 5 minutes thinking about the correct basic land to fetch. That's a trade-off right there. Sup, kids? How you doing? Shame about what happened to you on Ravnica. Not so indestructible now, are you, dude? I know. Maybe that's too soon. I don't know. But this Casualties of War is going to clean up my opponent's goodies. And then the Teferi can bounce the Heliod, but I'd still like to time the Teferi bounce with a Carnage. So Planeswalker, land. I could destroy an enchantment that is target the Heliod, but I don't want to. Well, I mean, I want to, but it won't kill it, is the point. Like, here. I'll do it just for science. Because somebody in chat's going to say, somebody in comments is going to say I should have blown up the Heliod because it's enchantment. There. See? Didn't work. All right. Send in the critters. Down to 4. Can knock you to 3. Can knock you to 1, actually. Oh, did I miss lethal? If I had played this first and then played Casualties, blown up my own thing. No, because they don't have a creature or planeswalker. I did not miss lethal. Curse you all. All right. We'll just play this. Somebody's going to say I missed lethal there with the Carnival Carnage eyes. I guess no, because they could have blocked the Uro. Nope, didn't miss lethal. In fact, if you want to make me raise my eyebrows and slightly heighten my blood pressure, type up how I missed lethal. Tell me exactly what I should have done. Bill Murray? We're playing Bill Murray. I love him in Ghostbusters and Zombieland. Absolutely love it. If I draw blue, this hand is amazing. Let's do it. Hello, Bill Murray. They hate this. I like to torture them. That's right, folks. It's Dr. Venkman. If any of you actually haven't watched Ghostbusters, please do. Just get to it. Anyway, we're gonna die. We might die. This hand could be pretty robust, actually. We need a red source really bad, though. If there's a red source in the top 2, we are cruising and grooving. If there isn't, this is gonna get messy. Really messy. Yep, I bet they pump these knights. They're really nervous. They're like, what does he got? You got some removal? What removal are they playing around right here? What is a black or a green or a blue, like instant speed? I guess Brazen Borrower is the best thing. Yeah, they're going for it. They are going for it now. Well done. Way to have courage. Trigger, trigger. Not a red source. Let's get the white source down. Pain-free, so we can play Teferi. Red source? Carnival Carnage, that probably isn't going to be great in this matchup. Although hitting them with it here, like knocking 2 cards out of their hand, leaves them with not much going, but they do have these aggressive knights. I think I have to Teferi them. This also draws us a card closer to potentially a red source. The opponent could throw their knight into the oven and keep me from drawing a card, but I don't think that's very good. Oof. Oof. Not good. Not good games at the moment. Yara. Ice cold. Yeah, we can't even play Carnage because we don't have a red source. We can only play the Carnival side. That is something I'm sure somebody will correct me on. All right. Ignore the Teferi. All face, all day. Red source, yeah.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Ow. Here's my creature. All right. I need deafening clarions. We got them. And casualties. Next turn could be epic. They have to clear the Mizzet, or the Clarion with lifelink can gain me a lot of life. Uro's no slouch in that department either. So, Murderous Rider gets the opponent in for another 4. Oh, okay, they're going to attack with the Knight. Well, I think forcing them to pump here is a good play. It takes up so much of their mana. And if they play the other Knight, we Clarion them. So now what? Another Niv.
That's more like it.
We can hit the Casualties of War. With the opponent stuck on 4 land and a Gray Merchant possibly being their plan, I think that's a pretty good play. And after that, we can also Uro to regain life. Or we could hit their hand with the Carnage, which denying them resources is pretty solid. So, destroy target land, destroy target artifact, destroy target creature. Let's blow up the oven. Let's target the Ayara, because if we target the Knight, they'll just sacrifice the Knight to the Ayara, with the Ayara and draw a card. The opponent can throw Ayara in the oven and have a food. You want a food? There, you has food now. And I think the best play is probably the Carnage. The opponent can pump the Knight and knock me down to 4, but I just gain 3 back next turn. I don't see how they can kill me. Like, Rankle isn't good enough. I think knocking out their hand makes a lot of sense. Just really deplete their resources. So if I was going to do that anyway, I could have played slightly better. I could have done the Carnage first to make them make those decisions without knowing that they were going to end up without land. It was a face-up play because of the casualties being revealed in the hand, but I still could have done it differently. All right, here we go. They're trying to get in there. So I think what I like is Uro for 0, and then Niv Mizzet. We could also Clarion this away, but I'd rather Clarion and gain a bunch of life off the Niv as well. So let's start here because it draws a card. Throw Spiral, all right. I could basically sacrifice Teferi, bounce the Knight, and then not have to worry about whether or not I would block this. But since its attack isn't lethal, I think I'm perfectly fine having Niv Mizzet Reborn on the field. More Uro, please. God, look at that grip. Too many cards. Another thing I could have done there is bounce my Fires of Invention to play a few more spells, but I don't think it's very important, to be honest. And the opponent will scoop him up. They can, Bill Murray, I love your work, but you dead. So if we Fable Passage out of green, we can cast most of our hand, but not the Clarion and the Carnival. I might really need to... Oh yeah, we can't cast the Spiral either. We don't have either side. The Carnival's up right away. This is a green source away. This is a red source away. I think I can keep the hand and slow roll the passage. Just wait to see what we draw off the top and then fetch what we need. That's worrisome. Bond of Flourishing. What are you up to? Fetch his Murderous Rider. There's a green source. Yay. I think that makes this a blue source. We could have held out further, though. And honestly, that's fine. Do I want to play a Knight of Autumn here? My opponent's done nothing. I guess if they spend their turn using Murderous Rider on it, I'm pretty happy. Like, the longer they do nothing, the longer I get to set up my hand. Next turn, we could fetch a red and Carnage them. Oof. Yeah, this is hella awkward. Because if I fetch the blue, I might be able to draw closer to the red as well as to other cards. I'm just going to wait. Right now, carnaging them when they have a million cards in hand doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Opponent is taking their sweet time. I'll take mine too. Hopefully draw into what I need. Okay, there's a blue source. So that means this can... Well, actually, it's a blue and a red source. So this should be a green now, right? Let's see what we draw. I'm going to do it now too, in case we draw a playable. Okay. This whole game is so awkward. Whether or not I'm playing it perfectly is so relative. If I fetch the island and play the Teferi, then, like, I'm only a green source away from casualties naturally. So I think I should wait. I think being patient is fine here. My opponent's not making moves. Eventually they will, and it will probably be large, but not yet. Fires. Think they're an Assassin's Trophy type of gamer? You think that's what's up? Alright, let's see what they do. I'm going to play this Fires of Invention. I'm going to play this Teferi. And I'm going to draw a card. Because I think the opponent has like Murderous Riders and things to interfere with Teferi. And now let's see how they respond to the board. Are they a Casualties of War gamer? Noxious Grasp. Okay. So I've got green, green, black, black. And I'm done drawing land now, I hope. So double blue, double green is the next thing that I'd want for an Uro. So I'll just grab another green. Well, time to hit their hand really hard. Carnage on Carnage. Wow, they are straight up all in green-black control, aren't they? Holy cow. Look at that. Not only do they have all these spells, they run Bond of Flourishing. Okay, so I don't want them to draw a card. If I target these at the same time, that's what will happen. So let's go Casualties, Land, Planeswalker. Land, Planeswalker. And do we Casualties again? I mean, yeah. We're kind of loaded right now. Land, Creature. I could Casualties them a third time, actually, this turn by blowing up my own fires. But I'm not going to. That's what the kids are calling a weird flex. I think I can get them to play this Murderous Rider, so I can kill that too. Okay. You got me. You got me on the Ritual of Such. My god, does this deck hate red. This is the red hatingest deck of all time. I should probably just play along and play a Deafening Clarion. Gift of Paradise, sure. All right, now I'll play this 4-3. I could save it to kill the Gift of Paradise, but Casualties is going to cover that for me. Now that my opponent's blown their Rituals of Soot from pure frustration. Oh yeah, if this doesn't scoop them, I don't know what will. Well, I guess I don't know what will. This opponent is made of tougher stuff. Credit. Respect. We haven't drawn Niv yet. We could certainly flood out from here. And their deck is all removal. Well, there you go. There you go. Wow. That's quite the whiff, but I think Uro is going to carry things from there. It's going to be really hard for the opponent to deal with. Maybe they'd have an Erebos' intervention. I don't know. All right, back against the wall. 2 losses already. Do I get my money back or don't I, running 5-color Niv? Loss rundown, since some people like that. Team of Reclamation, where I didn't draw Teferi. Well, it wasn't really a game. Mono Red, where I didn't draw Carnival Carnage or Deafening Clarion. And I died on my turn 3, so not worth showing. But anyway, that's where we're at, and that is what leaves us here in this spot. We don't have a red source, but I'm going to try to live long enough to get one. I think we lead here. Our opponent showing us all the signs of the most blatant mono red spamming mage, because they have so much gold from all their wins that they get to buy a Dragon Whelp, and they don't even have to even learn what a blue card is. Prepare ourselves for red mana off the top. Let's do this. Steamkin, it's a good Teferi target. Let's slow your roll, buddy. That's not a red source. Who would have thought 5-color mana bases could be so hard? Alright, they have a Shock or they have a Rimrock Knight or something, because you keep getting stuck in combat. Red source. Okay. Can take out the champion. It could be an Infuriate Gamer. Robber, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if they try to go to combat. If they have to play something else if they want their robber trigger, right? Right? Okay. So we can wait till we're in combat. Let them decide where to attack. Carnival. Shock the system. All right, red mana. Come on. Hallelujah. Halla-frickin-luya. And the crowd goes wild. Dragon time. Yeah, baby. Take that, red deck. Snitch lasagna, snitch lasagna. Magic ain't nothing but a keep. Dudes, house money dance. 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 We won games. We are playing with house money. If I play this tapped, the next turn I can Carnage this or the next thing, and the next turn I can do, like, I'm just pay, but it's tempo, right? You pay the life to keep the tempo. All right, let's do it. Just gonna do this right now. Bang. Get wrecked. Challenge me at a time like this? Oh, that was a friend playing all that mono red flex. No, I do not accept your challenge. You get no rematch. What do you think this is? Rematching. I'm on to the next one. I got more fish to fry. I got more fish to fry. Ooh, that's a good one. Where's my Knight of Autumn? That one's gonna leave a mark. Okay, we could shock and play Uro. Next turn, can we get Uro back? No, we're still a long way from that. Am I better off growth spiraling twice? It does set me up for more Uro and gets me deeper in the deck. I would have to not fetch a red though with this, which that could be a mistake. Let's lead with the first growth spiral. Okay, now we definitely want that red. But we can save it. We don't have to fetch during our turn or anything. Or during our opponent's turn. We can wait, because this will be untapped anyway. Here they come. I got scared for a moment it was my mountain. Misplay. Should have fetched. It was like a 1 in 60 chance, but it could have happened. Definitely could have happened. So what will the opponent have? 2 1/1s? They didn't have... Well, they could have an Embercleave still. They couldn't have cast it last turn. They could play it this turn. So my question is, do I want to shock for this growth spiral? It's a little greedy, but I think so. All right, we're hitting land. We're a black source away from casualties. And what do we need? I think, yeah, we're a blue source away from double Uro. Phoenix of Ash, gross. Teferi, okay. Let's start with Uro, though. All right, that will not play the Uro this turn, but it will next turn. So we could take out a Satyr for good, or we could bounce a Phoenix and make the opponent use their mana more, which I think is better. We are fighting a little bit of a war on their mana base. Multiple casualties, not great. Not great. But I guess if I draw a black source, it's okay. We can take out the Phoenix of Ash and the castle, which is a big deal. And we're down to just 7. Always more lighting of stages. And an Embercleave. No. Well, I can take them off the Embercleave with the casualties. If they draw another land, though, am I dead? Not quite. For your next trick, what are we gonna do? They have a ton of options. All right, they're moving in. Do they have lethal? Down to 5. And they play Annex. Okay. Ooh. I really want to play this, and I really want to play this. This is an enchantment. This is a creature. So the opponent would be left with 2 1/1s and 2 lands. I think this is worth it. I think I'll survive the turn. Creature. Land. We don't play Skewer the Critics anymore, do they? And you're not going to be an Infuriate gamer, are you? Don't be an Infuriate gamer. Spits, you. This one is in the trenches for sure. The attack. No. What's coming? They're really having a hard time with what to do with this Rimrock Knight, this Shock, or whatever the heck they have. If it's Infuriate, they are the slowest, they are the worst slow roller I have ever played. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why that was so hard. But okay. That's a good draw. That is a good draw. A blue source and we could play the Niv. But we'll see about that. That is a good draw. I don't have anything that uses my graveyard. It doesn't... It makes escape so easy. Okay, it is a blue source, but I'm not shocking for it. Hey, nah. And I Carnage this so the opponent can't get another point of damage, I suppose. The other thing that we could do is try to sucker the opponent into the attack, which would drop us to 3, we'd block 1, and we'd go to 2. But I think going to 2 is too dangerous. So I'm going to do it now. Don't risk it. All right, they're 1 mana away from Phoenix of Ash, so we have to get the Niv Mizzet down to block. Here is a Rimrock Knight. We get to start attacking for life next turn, and cards. I think I Niv first to try to find Deafening Clarion, though. Which, we've only had 1. Seems like a good chance. Only the top 10 cards of my library. Not even necessary. Not even necessary. Ah, that feeling when the game epically swings in your favor. When you know it's gonna be okay. Spit lasagna, mono red ain't nothing but a spit lasagna. Okay, I finished the event at 5 and 3. The losses were like extremely not worth showing. It wasn't because I played badly, it was because I didn't even play, which is to be expected when you run a 5-colored deck. The losses are generally like, well, I drew the wrong land, I guess I die now. And for those who care, it was to Team of Reclamation, Mono Red, and what was the thing I just lost to? Nissa, Simic Nissa. Turn 3 Nissa while I didn't draw my 4th land. Yeah, not really great. But anyway, this deck is kind of sweet, I think. I always like a good Niv deck. I do think my avoidance of temples in best of 1 is the idea that tap lands will just get you wrecked. But when you have this many growth spiral in a row, you should definitely run some tap lands. So replace, I wouldn't say half, replace about 40% of the shock lands with temples, because the scry can make a big difference. I also love the Carnival Carnage, and it served well. The only games where it was bad was when I drew more Carnival Carnage than I drew land, which actually happened twice because this shuffler is just fine. But if you wanted to trim something, you could trim a Carnival Carnage, you could trim a Clarion and run maybe more Night of Autumn or more land, just more land, because hitting the land drop, of course, is all that matters. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my public moment of shame apology. Hold on, we gotta do this right. Gotta do this right. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. I'm sorry they're not better, but it's me. I can only be me. TGB. And we only need 1,000 more subs for 50,000 subs and frickin' Jank Week. So hit that sub button, and thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.